Hi, and welcome to a lesson on solving equations with algebraic fractions. The first example we'll look at is fairly straightforward. So we've got n plus 5 divided by 3 equals negative 10. Now, the first thing I want to focus on doing is to dismantle this left-hand fraction, okay? So we've got divide by 3 here, and I'm going to think about what the inverse operation of divide by 3 is. It's multiply by 3. So I'm going to do that to both sides, to be fair, okay? So when I divide by 3 and multiply by 3, what I'm left with is just n plus 5, okay? Because they cancel each other out. And basically, minus 10, if I times by 3, is negative 30, okay? So I've just got one more step to do, which is to get the n on its own to solve. So I subtract 5 from both sides, and I get a final answer of n equal to negative 35. Okay, so obviously substitute that back in and check that it works, and it does. Okay, EG2, let's have a look at another one. So I'm going to do the same thing again. I want to dismantle the fraction, and this time it's divide by 5, so I'm going to multiply by 5 on both sides. And I get just the numerator left, so that will be 23 minus 2x equal to, and then 5 times 3 is 15. Okay. The next thing I'm going to do is to try to get the x term on its own. Unfortunately, it is a negative term, but it doesn't faze me too much. So I'm going to take away 23 from both sides. Positive 23, take it away from both sides. And I get minus 2x left on its own over here. And 15 subtract 23 is negative 8. Okay. So then the last job I've got to do is to divide by negative 2 to get just the x term on its own. Just get the x on its own. So x equals negative 8 divided by negative 2, which is equal to positive 4. And of course, I can put that back in and check. So 23 minus 4 times 2, which is 8. 23 minus 8 is 15. 15 divided by 3 is 15 divided by 5 equals 3, correct. And I can probably give myself a smiley face for being correct. Okay, so let's move on. Slightly more difficult this time. This time, or potentially not, depending on what you like to do. But here we've got x terms on the denominator now. Okay, so I'm going to do the same process. I'm going to get rid of the fraction by multiplying both sides by the denominator. So multiply by 2 minus 3x on both sides. 2 minus 3x on both sides. And what I get then is just the numerator left, x plus 1, equal to 3 multiplied by 2 minus 3x on this right-hand side. Okay, I'm going to simplify the right-hand side by multiplying out the brackets. So I've got x plus 1 equals 6 minus 9x. Okay, now my aim, remember, is to get the x term on the left-hand side, preferably, and the numbers on the right-hand side. So what I'll do is I'll look at here. I've got 1x and I've got negative 9x. I'm going to look for moving the smallest x term, which is negative 9. And the inverse operation of negative 9x is positive 9x. Okay, so plus minus 9x. And so when I add 9x to both sides, I create a 10x here, plus 1. And then the minus 9x plus 9x cancel each other out. So I'm just left with 6 over here. So you can see automatically by doing that, by moving the smallest x term, I've simplified my equation quite a bit. And it's now a lot more obvious what to do. We take away 1 from both sides. So I'm left with 10x equal to 5. And then I can just divide by 10, my final job. Divide by 10, which is equal to 5 divided by 10, which is equal to 1/2. And obviously then I can just substitute back in, check it works, and it does. Okay, so last example. We've got 3x plus 1 over 2 minus 2x plus 5 over 3 equals 1. Now here I'm going to do a trick called cross multiplication, which I quite like to do when I've got an addition or subtraction of algebraic fractions. So I'm just going to times that by that first of all. Okay, so 3 brackets 3x plus 1. I've got the subtract sign here. Minus 2 brackets 2x plus 5 over, and then on the bottom I've got 2 times 3. 2 times 3, which we'll work out in a minute, which I know is 6. and that's equal to 1. Okay, now if you want to, just a little explanation of what cross multiplication is, it's if we've got a over b plus or minus c over d, okay, we'll do plus in this case, is equal to ad plus bc over bd. Okay, so we do AD plus BC over BD. That's basically what I've just done. I'm now going to simplify this left-hand side. So I've got on the top 9x plus 3, if I timed out very carefully, and then I've got minus 4x minus 10 divided by 6 equal 1. Now I can simplify the top. So I've got 9 minus 4, which is 5x. I'm running out of room, actually. 5x. Okay, so 5x. 3 minus 10 is negative 7. Over 6 equal to 1. And now I'm at that stage where I've got a fraction and I could do with dismantling the fraction. So I'm going to times 6 on both sides. Okay, and what I'm going to get is 5x subtract 7 equal to 6. I'm then going to add 7 to both sides. So I get 5x equal to 13. And so when I divide by 5 on both sides, I've kind of run out of room here. 13 divided by 5, which is 2 3/5, or 2.6 as my final answer. Sorry, I had to squeeze that in at the end. So there's quite a bit involved there with cross multiplication, but generally, get to that point where I would dismantle the fraction, I times by the denominator, and suddenly life is a lot easier. It's just solving an equation. Okay, so I hope that's nice and clear. And if you've enjoyed that, please don't hesitate to subscribe. It really does motivate me and help others to find me too, and helps my channel to grow. All right, so thank you very much for visiting today. I hope that that's clear, and enjoy your work.